I'm sure you've taken more than a passing interest in the hurricanes that have been ravaging the southern U.S. and parts of the Caribbean. Naturally, the politicization of Harvey and Irma has already begun, with many environmental Cassandras stating that these severe storms are yet more evidence of climate change, as if severe storms are something new on planet Earth. And yet, look how inexact the science was in terms of predicting precisely where Irma was going to touch down. Less than a day before Irma hit Florida, the experts were still saying it was possible the hurricane would peter out over the sea and/or avoid land altogether. Or it would veer south and miss Florida completely, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not laying blame at the meteorologists who track these storms. I know they want to get it right, and they do their best to get it right. But we're talking about a force of nature here, which by definition is entirely unpredictable. In fact, an NBC News story noted that predicting Irma's path was even giving supercomputers a challenge. The point is this: if the climate experts are challenged in predicting the immediate flight paths of a hurricane or two, how can these same people be so sure of climate change models predicting environmental carnage that will supposedly take place decades into the future? Forgive me if I remain unenthused by the track record of these folks. After all, back in the 1970s, global cooling was the biggest future calamity for the planet. Indeed, according to the eggheads, an impending ice age was going to result in a drastic decline in food production. Well, that ice age never materialized, and get this, total agricultural output almost tripled between 1961 and 2008, according to a report that was prepared for the World Bank. Now, as things began to heat up in the years following, the term global warming replaced ice age, of course, but these days global warming is just so 1999, isn't it? Especially since statistics show that some parts of the planet were heating up back in the 80s and have now been cooling down in the last decade or so, which explains why the predictors of doom and gloom prefer the far more flexible term of climate change, terminology that can mean either heating up or cooling down. Hey, to quote Archer,
"Oh, well, isn't that convenient?"
Moral of the story, given that in terms of geological time, a millennium is a blink of an eyelash, next time the climate change contingent makes a connection between weather and impending doom, perhaps we should take such predictions with a grain of salt. Actually, make that a shovelful of salt. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Like what you just saw? Then click subscribe below and never miss another Rebel video.